Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the show. And welcome to a Saturday stream. Hopefully, the weekend is treating you well. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whatever time it is, whatever day it is. I hope that you're having a good one so far. I hope that the early part, that the foreplay of the weekend has been good to you until now. And if not, well, you know what? Hopefully it'll be a little better now that you're here to hang out with us and this lovely community on a Saturday or Sunday or Sunday. I don't judge if you live in the land down under or somewhere in that vicinity. And of course, we are here again today for some more hot mech on mech action, as you do in our ongoing modded Mechwarrior 5 career in the sandbox. And for those of you that may have missed the last stream or were not here for the end of it, don't worry, we are going to get into the Dragon's Gambit DLC today. It will be my first time playing through that particular DLC. Again, I am still relatively new to the Mechwarrior 5 experience, and well, I say we're new. I've only put in almost 200 hours in the game so far between the vanilla campaign and the modded career that we're currently working on. But as far as the DLCs are concerned, we have not gotten through all of them yet. So we're getting there. We're getting there. But we're gonna start up the Dragon's Gambit DLC today. Here we are back on the Leopard, back at Mechwarrior 5, right where we left off last time around. We had just finished up doing some special transmissions throughout the campaign or throughout the inner sphere as we continue this career. And right at the end, we got the priority transmission for the Dragon's Gambit DLC, which again, I have not done. And so I put it to a vote, and everybody in chat decided, well, not everybody, but the majority of chatters decided last go around that they wanted to see this particular DLC, since I have not played through it yet. And again, so far, I've been enjoying the DLCs that have been for this game. Again, I did have some criticisms of the vanilla campaign, but I have been enjoying the DLCs. They are definitely an improvement over the base game experience, and we'll get into this one and see how it is. But let's see, we got a couple other first-time chatters in here. Who else we got? Well, not a first-time chatter, but I see you, CVEX. Good to see you. Glad to have you on a Saturday. And Etchy says, YouTube Rex have been feeding me your vids at all week. Had to check out the live version. Well, good to see you, Etchy, and thank you for joining us on the live version. Of course, if you're watching over on the YouTube lands, that's the archive for this stream, since Twitch does not keep my VODs up forever. So I post a complete VOD of every stream that we do over there on the YouTubes. If you've been watching any of that content, though, we are a little bit behind the live. But as I always tell folks, Battletech is pretty simple in that regard. Most missions boil down to go over there and blow up everything, or kill that dude, or destroy that building, or what have you. So, you haven't missed a whole lot, but don't worry. Anything that you did miss will eventually make its way over there. You'll just have to wait it out a little bit. But good to see folks coming in from the YouTubes. And again, glad to see all of you here on a Friday. Shows you how screwed up my time schedule is. Thank you guys for showing up on a Saturday. And again, I hope the weekend is treating you well. But let's see what we're getting into here. Let's see what we got. The Dragon's Gambit, refuse at your own risk, in quotation marks. In the heavy quotes here. That's usually not a good sign, especially not when you're dealing with the Draconis Combine. But it turns out, apparently the person sending us this message is, in fact, with Comstar, if the little icon here is to be believed. So, let's see. This is from Precentor Dairon Look, chat, words are hard. Sharalar Mori. Greetings, Commander. I am the person. You may not know me. I don't know anybody from Comstar, but I know you intimately, and that's gross. Your unit's exploits have been of particular interest to me, specifically your role in the death of Precentor Yamada. His blood drips from your hands. Who the hell is that? Is that... Did we schwack somebody? In a different DLC? Or is this just one of those, like, they just say that? I don't know. I'm sure we'll figure it out. If you believed your actions would be void of consequences, you're in for a rude awakening. But simply killing you would be a waste of talent and opportunity. So I have bided my time, waiting for the right moment to have you make amends for this transgression. A time is now. See, chat, this is why you never deal with Blakeists. You know, they say never deal with a demon, and they also say never deal with Comstar. They also say pay your fucking phone bills, fucko. But that's a different thing. I mean, I don't normally pay the bills in the company, so the fact that we're getting contacted by Comstar is clearly something I need to go take up with Rihanna. I guess she missed a payment, or she was late on a payment or something, but because I'm the one in charge, now I have to deal with it. You know how it goes. Bureaucracy, delegation, middle management, synergy, dynamics, best practices. You know how it is. The FedCom alliance grows in power. The invasion of the Draconis Combine is a foregone conclusion. If Hans Davian permit... I can tell it's going to be this kind of day, chat. If Hans Davian prevails, it will trigger far-reaching consequences for the entire inner sphere. I cannot remain idle and allow the Federated Commonwealth to monopolize the entire star map. Oh no, that right is reserved exclusively for fucking Comstar, apparently. No one's allowed to monopolize the entire inner sphere except for Blakeists, because fucking Comstar, man. I suggest you do not dismiss this offer out of hand and force me to seek reparations for the death of Precentor Yamada in a more aggressive manner. Refuse, and you find yourself no longer welcome in Comstar territory, especially Terra. I expect to hear from you soon. You'll be contacted by my associate, and the details of your first assignment will be laid out for you. Do not draw this out, Commander. Yeah, I think Elijah has the right of it. It's like, I don't mind blowing stuff up. I've said before, we're mercenaries. We go where the money is. I don't have any particular allegiances, and so when wannabe Assassin's Creed lady sends me the BattleTech equivalent of an email and says, "Hey, you done fucked up, kid, because you killed somebody," we're gonna completely ignore the fact that he was trying to kill you and he shot first and you defended yourself, but you killed our dude, and so now you owe us. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's not how that works. If you wanted me to work for you, all you had to do was come to me and be like, "Hey, listen, we got some shit that needs blowing up. We need some parking lots that need paving, and we got some money." And I would have been like, "Hey, yo, point me in the right direction. Just tell me where you need me to go. Tell me the name of the planet. Tell me the colors they're flying. And you know what? We will make that parking lot in short order." So I don't know why they got to play up this angle of, like, reparations and threats on our lives and livelihoods and all that. I'm a simple woman. I'm a simple woman. Just, tell me where to go and what to blow up and how much you're paying me. That's all I really need. That's all I ever really need. I'm just saying. Just saying. But anyway, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and accept this contract. It is going to lock us in, as with the previous DLCs. So there might be some extended period of time where we either do not have the freedom to travel on our own or may not even have the ability to repair our mechs. With that being said, while we only have a few mechs here put together in the mech bay, we do have quite a few in cold storage. So in spite of the fact that we might not be able to do any repairs, we certainly have a wide selection of machines to pick from, should the need arise. So with that being said, let's go ahead and depart. Depart from Kukin's Pleasure Pit. And for the record, we came here because chat insisted. Chat insisted that we come to Kukin's pleasure pit, and we did. And Chief Scientist Prime subbing. Words, chat, they are fucking hard. But again, thank you, Chief Scientist, for the Prime subscription, and welcome to the Cult of Bad Tactical Decisions, where we have only one flavor of Kool-Aid, but it is Ecto Cooler. And of course, for those of you that don't know, Amazon Prime allows you to subscribe to one Twitch channel for free, and I appreciate you choosing to spend that free subscription here with our channel. Thank you for supporting me, supporting the community, and supporting the stream. And yeah, for those of you that don't know, we're also now dealing with Precentor Marshal Anastasius Vogt, i.e. the Get Folked guy. I am Marshal Anastasius Vogt. You have made a wise decision. Given Mori's powers of persuasion, is that what we're calling it? Threats? Veiled threats? That counts as powers of persuasion? I knew you would elect to opt in. She is adept at knowing when to wield a scalpel or a hammer to move pieces on the game board in the direction she desires. There's a lot of ground to cover, and time is an enemy we must contend with. The future of the Draconis Combine will be decided in the coming months. Helping ensure it avoids oblivion will square the debt your unit incurred following the death of Precentor Yamada. I inherited this unresolved issue from my predecessor. I have no wish to see you killed. If you fulfill your contract, I will happily wipe your slate clean of your debt, but not a moment before. It is vital you do not speak of your pact with us with anyone. The Coordinator's disdain for mercenary units is well known. If your identity is revealed, you will be in great danger. You will be killed by Combine forces loyal to Takashi before I have to lift a finger to silence you. Now, with those unpleasantries out of the way, again, more veiled threats. So this reeks of bad DMing, right? This is the thing where the DM is like, you need to go and talk to this person, and the party wants to do something else, and he's like, well, now the guards are here, and they're arresting you and taking you to talk to the person, and it's like, but we wanted to do this other thing first, and they're like, no, you need to go talk to the person, because that's the next thing that needs to happen. That's what this smells like to me. Anyway, where did I leave off? Now with those unpleasantries out of the way, your course has been set. You're to travel to the Dairon Military District, one of the prefecture capitals of the Draconis Combine. Once there, you'll be contacted by Taishu Michi Noketsuna, Dairon's newly appointed warlord. He will be your primary handler for the duration of this contract. In order to satisfy us, you need to satisfy him. Phrasing? Head to the Dairon jump point. Good luck, Commander. Serve us well. Alright. Alright. Why is the King Crab in Cold Store? Just because we aren't using it currently. Black Hydra. The way that we have yet another mech lab set up, the only thing that the game removes from the mechs when we put them in cold storage is any upgrades. So by putting them in cold storage, it costs us less money to keep them available. So basically, if I'm not going to be actively using a mech for the next couple of missions, or if it's not in regular rotation, I generally just tend to keep it in cold storage. Yeah? Keeping it fresh for Christmas dinner. King crabs are bad in AI hands. This is true. But we needed the King Crab in order to complete Crab Squad. We have a couple of Star League era crabs. Now we have the King Crab. We just haven't had a mission where we could take out the King Crab and the regular crabs. So, you know. And Comstar is indeed into some kinky shit. And Chef Scientist, having just primed to the channel, gifting 5,729 Bezos bucks out of the blue. Thank you, Chef Scientist, so much for the Bezos bucks. I'm not sure why, coming out of nowhere, you've decided to suddenly gift so much support, but I appreciate it, again, from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so, so much. Again, you guys do not have to support the stream in that way, but it means a lot to me that you think that I am creating the kind of content that deserves that support. As always, I do not deserve it, but I will do my best to earn it. Serenity says everything is bad in AI hands if we're going to be real. Yeah, this is true. And that's why we have different mechs and different loadouts for the AI versus the stuff that I'm actually going to be using. So so don't you worry about that. The king crab will have its day in the sun. It will indeed. And Mr. Kurigan gifting 5 gift subs to the community as well. Thank you, Mr. Kurigan, for the gift subs again. You do not have to support that way, but thank you so much for the massive generosity and the massive chicken. And if you got gifted a sub, be sure to thank Mr. Kurigan for that generosity. And again, thank you once more for that. For getting more members into the cult of bad tactical decisions. We're always happy to welcome more potential cultists because, good lord, we have a lot of Kool-Aid in the back and it's going to take us a while to drink through it all. Makes a lot of armed weapons are particularly bad with AI. This is true. This is true. But you know what? Marauder Squad, Mad Squad has got nothing but large lasers in the arms. So it is what it is. But let's have a look at the canteen emissions here. I mean, Mech Collector's pretty high, Treasure Hunter's pretty high, War Dog is pretty high. Because we're so close and we're going to be in Combine space and they're offering a Gauss rifle, and not just a Gauss rifle, holy shit, they're offering a tier 5 Gauss rifle. I think I'm going to take this. We're going to collect a Kentaro mech. I think the default variant in Mechwarrior 5 is the Kentaro 18, which is the one that they're asking for, so hopefully we'll find that soon. But in the meantime, let's have a look at the mission briefing and see what we're getting ourselves into. So here's the guy that we're supposed to report to. I am Taishu Michi no Kitsuna, warlord of the Dairon Military District. I am pleased Mora has contracted you to aid us in the cause. I know in doing so you face great risk, courtesy of the short-sighted edict handed down by the coordinator. Thanks to the tremendous foresight of Teddy Kurita, his calculated move to allow Rasselhague its independence created a buffer state that would deny a full-scale invasion by the Lyran Commonwealth. But in doing so, great pressure has been placed upon Dairon as it borders both halves of the FedCom alliance. There's no time to mince words. Davian will bring down the hammer upon Dairon. This is ground zero for the incoming storm with 2 star nations set to pour through our borders. We must halt the Davian thrust as much as we can. Again, man, this whole DCMS, like, they are getting real kinky. Phrasing, man. Phrasing. If we can buy time, there's a plan in place to push them into a war of attrition that could give us a ray of hope. Oh boy. The DCMS talking about wars of attrition. Why am I not surprised? I'm folding you into the 5th Amphibian Light Assault Unit along with their general, Kent Gerber. The Combine's very own mercenary security group, exempt from the Death to Mercenaries edict. Gerber is what, well, that might be Gerbay, but I'm going to say Gerber because I'm from Texas. Gerber is aware of the arrangement, pleased to have extra manpower at his disposal. This is a trial run to see how well you fit in this group. There's no time to spare. Davian forces have already hit our shores. We need to get you into a mech and onto the battlefield immediately. Don't worry. Don't worry, Michi. I brought my own mechs. I brought a lot of my own mechs. Again, we're not going to get a whole lot in terms of salvage or money from Kurita this go around because we have tanked our reputation with them, but that's okay. We're going to get there. We're going to get there. I mean, Grendler, you say that, but I would argue that just about everybody in the Draconis Combine, with a few exceptions, like most of the high-level people in the DCMS, are terrible. They all suck ass. Like, again, I understand that there are some good folks in Kuritan space, but as a general rule, it is an armed forces full of nepotism, and essentially it is, for lack of a better way to put it, I see a lot of parallels in the DCMS and the Soviet military circa the lead up to World War II. where it was an army without experience and staffed entirely by people who didn't give a shit what they or didn't know what they were doing and were only concerned with their own safety and well-being, human wave tactics, very little concern for losses, that kind of thing. Now, as we will find in the timeline as time goes on, eventually, just like the Soviet military, the cream will rise to the top. And the people that are actually good in a command structure will begin to show themselves and earn some clout and, rise to the occasion. But at this point in the timeline, the DCMS is full of a bunch of suits, a bunch of aristocrats, a bunch of Nepo babies in charge of massive waves of troops that they just don't really give a shit about. Anyway, we're going to take max salvage, even though there's not that much salvage here. And we will see what we get ourselves into. So we got 240 tons. We were just talking about Crab Squad. And I think 240 tons might be enough for us to field the proper Crab Squad. And when I say proper, I do mean with the King Crab. And it's not just a King Crab, it's a hero King Crab. We put a bunch of AC5s in it, so it's going to be spitting lead. It is going to be spitting lead. So let's get these boys set up. We're going to put in the King Crab. The King Crab has yet to earn its colors. We're also going to put in the Star League crabs. I really hope they don't get blown up. As a matter of fact, short burst and large pulse lasers. Okay, so this Star League crab, I am not going to put in the hands of the AI because I don't want to lose two large pulse lasers. So there we go. Now let's find our pilots. We know we've already got some pilots that have a lot of experience with crabs, and so we want to focus on them. I know Erst is not a huge fan of working for the Draconis Combine, and so there's a part of me that doesn't want to put him in on these missions, just by virtue of the fact that, again, Erst, as a resident of Rosselhaig, is not a fan of working for the DCMS. So who do we put in the King Crab? Typically, I am tempted to put in the commander, but at the same time, I don't want the commander to have all the fun with the big toys. So let's see. Who can we put in? Who's got good ballistic skill right now? Sereni's got some decent ballistic skill. Northman has decent ballistics. You know what? I think I'm going to put Mara in there. Even though they have absolutely terrible affinity because they need some more experience. Have to run an Osiris Commando Panther squad on the tabletop. There you go. And Kodiak Doug, you've got the right of it. We are going to be throwing the DACA. So for those of you that were not here when we put it together, this thing is running 4 AC5 burst fires and 4 SRM6s. So it's going to be a killer. It's going to be a killer. We're a little bit over tonnage, but again, we're not going to be making a whole lot of salvage in these early missions, so I think that's fine. And it'll be our first opportunity to put Crab Squad in as it was intended, with the King Crab leading the charge. So let's make it hot, chat. So I guess we're kind of stuck in a valley here. I mean, Rihanna, we're in a war zone fighting a war. I would be surprised if there weren't enemies in the vicinity. Oh, weapon groups. Weapon groups. No sound. You are correct, because I'm an idiot. There you go. You should have sound now. I do sometimes forget to unmute. I sometimes forget to unmute the game audio. But let's see. What do I want to do here? Sadly, this is another instance of the king crab is not able to punch, and that makes me sad. We're not going to be able to give anyone the clamps with the king crab. But there we go. Let's give this a shot. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I think we're in good shape, chat. I think we're in good shape. At least let's see what kind of trouble we're gonna get into. And I even have a beagle probe on this thing, not necessarily because we needed one, but because I like to see the enemy coming from a ways off so that I can give commands and actually know where the enemies are instead of having to wander around looking for them. So we're gonna Centurion. Oh. You guys could potentially do something about that. That Scorpion tank. I don't like autocannons from a distance. Or not. I guess I'll do it. Or also not. Good lord. Yeah, sure. Wow, okay, that's a BBC. You know what? Let's maybe not do that, and instead we'll just continue to move on. We'll continue with the objective.
That target is ours.
Now this blackjack is about to get way more than he bargained for.
These pricks have already worn out their welcome. Burn through them and retake the base.
Yep, I'm liking this king crab, chat. I'm liking it. Oh, hi! Welcome to the party! Welcome to the party, guys. Now let's go down and say hi properly, shall we? Been doing too much Fallout 4. Want to call it a Mirelurk. I mean, the resemblance is definitely there. Son of a bitch. You boys go and deal with that Centurion, and I'll see about flanking behind them. And by flanking, I mean I'm just gonna go walk through this wall and say hello. It's gonna be like some Kool-Aid Man shit. Although it looks like they've already knocked down the wall. Oh look, it's an Orion. And let's just... Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Oh yeah! And we got some explosive pipes over here, so I'm gonna be careful of those. And a warhammer.
If that's all the fight these rats can serve up, I like our chances.
If you say so, buddy.
Yet to truly begin. Do not allow arrogance to get the better of you.
Yeah, I don't like agreeing with a DCMS dude, but I am well acquainted with hubris. I am well fucking acquainted with hubris.
And send them packing. Rats know they can't hold the base. Suppress their fire.
Cowardly act. Make them pay.
Oh, let's see. can kind of hit from here. Oh, that's actually quite a few mechs.
Focusing our fire on target.
But that's okay. We'll focus down the lighter mechs first, as you do. Now, what do we got over here? We got a Shadow Hawk. Dang it, get out of my way, doofus. Get out of my way, doofus. Man, that assassin, he's pretty brave. He's very brave, jumping up like that in front of me. With all this firepower. And let's see, we got another Warhammer and we got a Marauder. I would be okay with salvaging either of those. And sweet nausea rolling in, thanking Mr. Kreegan for the gift sub first time chat. Well, welcome to the stream. Sweet nausea, good to see you. Glad to have you. Hopefully Saturday or Sunday, wherever in the world you are, is treating you well. And if not, hopefully it'll be a little better now that you're here. Always glad to welcome more folks into the cult of bad tactical decisions. And always glad to see new people in here on a Saturday stream. So hopefully you like some hot mech on mech action, because that is what we're going to be doing today. Oh, you're going to be taking more than that. You are going to be taking more than that.
Secure. Still plenty of work to be done, but that's a damn good start.
Tremendous work, Commander. I see you will be a great asset for the Combine moving forward. Preserve your strength and energy. You will need it.
I mean, of course I'm going to be a great asset. Did you see this crab? This king crab is awesome. Mech on mech is my favorite category, as is mine. As is mine. I look at it. It's so big. It's so big you could... Like, if you didn't know this was a king crab, you wouldn't even know what you were looking at. Alright, let's see what we can get for 16 picks. Not a whole lot, but, you know, that's okay. Oh my. Oh my. Well, I take that back. They've actually got a lot of good stuff. We got some small pulse lasers. We got some ERPPCs. I'm definitely going to take those. I'll take the ER short burst. And hell, I'll take a medium... You know what? Actually, I'm going to take the small pulse lasers because I haven't forgotten about the Disco Inferno, chat. We have to see if we can build the Disco Inferno in yet another mech lab. Based on your title, you have a friend in the jump seat. Well, I don't know if I would say friend. Associate is probably a better word for that. And yeah, we got out of that with over 3 million C-bills in payout and less than 100K in losses, which is always a good sign. Acquiring your services is already paying off. Small victories may not mean much of the grand scheme of things. Well, good that you have realistic expectations. But any inch we can deny Davian and his death squads offers glimmers of hope. Now, chat, I don't know if you're aware of irony as a concept, but a DCMS person with the official title of Warlord talking about other people's military units as death squads, I think falls pretty neatly under the purview of irony. And Private Kaze says, would you like us to tell you about a unique benefit of this DLC that is not apparent? The loot. I mean, if the loot's gonna be like this mission was, then I think I just figured it out. But good to see you, Private Kaze. And thanks for joining us, first time chatter on a Saturday. We're always glad to have new folks, so good to see you, glad to have you, and hopefully the weekend is treating you well. You gel with the 5th and Fijian well. Gerber is pleased to have you in their ranks. Continuing to fight with them should do well to shield you from the death to mercenaries edict that the coordinator stubbornly clings to. He has a penchant for short-sighted ignorance. You're on a fixed timeline now, Commander. Make any necessary repairs or refits. The next assignment promises to be unforgiving. You will need to be battle-ready at all times. Head to the jump point. Vega awaits. Your strength and resolve will be pushed to their breaking point. I kinda doubt that, but I understand that y'all's breaking point and limits are probably a lot lower than mine, and I can understand why you would think that. But I appreciate your attempt to feign concern. So let's go ahead and we'll get the repairs underway. I don't know if we'll be able to complete them before the next mission, but we will certainly try. In the meantime, while we're repairing this thing, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a huge fan of, like, goofy, blood everywhere paint jobs, but I love the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure kind of, like, Challenger symbols all over this thing. Like, I don't know why, but that, to me, that's just, it's very funny. But let's see. If we go, let's go with Van Zant Gray first and see what it looks like. Okay, alright, I see you. So with the hero, and I apologize, chat, this is the first time I've ever been looking at looking like not the typical company paint job, because I just want to see what it looks like. Okay, so the blood actually has a different paint scheme, which is going to make it really hard to get rid of. That is unfortunate. Alright, that's okay. We'll just go with the standard paint. No big deal. I'm sorry. There we go. And I've said this before, but I like to paint the big ugly mechs or the dangerous mechs in bright red because I want them to see me coming a mile away. And Grendler Colo, I see you. Hydration incoming. Tier 5 loot cache on each mission. That's nice to be here. I enjoy the content. Well, I'm glad that you enjoy the content, Private Kazi. Again, it's always weird to me that so many people enjoy the content that I produce, but I hope that you have a good time here watching us and hanging out with the community. Chief Scientist says, keep up the great content. Normally in the middle of a rush around this time, so don't normally get to watch until I'm crashed at home on YouTube, but had a lull today, so figured I'd pop in to show some appreciation. And again, glad to have you, Chief Scientist, and thank you again for the donation as well. But yeah, again, you never have to support the stream that way. I've said it a million times, and I'll say it a million more. Whether you're here for 5 minutes or 5 hours, or even if you're just hanging out in the archive, I appreciate the support that you guys provide. Again, without you, there is no channel, there is no community, so, you know, you guys make this what it is, and I appreciate it. I thank you for your time, I thank you for your support, all the time, because I'm just the monkey putting on the show. So, you know, I could stream to 0 forever, but you guys being here is what makes it all worth it for me. So thank you. So thank you for being here, and again, making this community what it is. We all forget the last mission, the Tier 5 loot. Absolutely. Alright, so it looks like we're going to depart from this system, headed to the next system. Hans Davian has his eyes fixed squarely on Vega. Not for the minerals or resources, but to satisfy his own ego. ISF reports still haven't accurately reflected the size of the force Davian has dispatched, but it's expected to be considerable. I do not know when the conflict will erupt, but it is imminent. I'm transferring your contract to Gerber for the remainder of this assignment. I wish you good fortune, Commander. Continue to fight with honor. I see this is an important distinction, and I've said this before, I'll say it again. The difference between the DCMS and the clans is you can fight with honor. Fighting with honor is good, and you should do it if you can. Fighting for honor is stupid, and that's what the clans do. Very important distinction. Fighting with honor is good. Fighting for honor is dumb. So let's set a course. Let's get underway. Oh, fancy cutscene. Here we go.
The Draconis Combine has gone too far, inflicting harsh actions upon Federated citizens protesting against the conquerors that have invaded their lands. The FedCom Alliance must initiate swift action in response to this senseless violence.
Give us back our home! House is no welcome here!
Hans Davion spews lies, only seeking to conquer, to dominate, all in the guise of liberation. Our skies are riddled with the enemy. Invasion is upon us. Stewards of Vega, your world will soon be under attack by the power-hungry invaders. We cannot withstand this onslaught. It is only a matter of time before our lands are overrun, before our people are enslaved. Great sacrifice is required to prevail, to secure the freedom of our citizens. For the Combine to live on.
So, I mean, I guess the insinuation here is that the whole Draconis Combine committing war crimes against its own people was some kind of staged event? Perpetrated by Davion as propaganda? Question mark? In my experience, I am more apt to believe that members of the DCMS fired on civilians than not. Like, if you put the story in front of me and they were like, there was a riot on this planet and the DCMS's response was to shoot a bunch of civilians. If you told me that was a thing that happened, but then you also told me that Davion was making it propaganda and told me that one of those two things was true, it either happened exactly as it was told, or it's propaganda, I'm gonna believe that it was that it happened as described, right? Just like in terms of reputation, in terms of the way that Kurita has historically treated not only its citizens in general, but the way that it typically responds to uprisings. Like, if you told me that either the revolt was staged or the revolt was overreacted to, I'm gonna go with overreacted. But hey, you know what? They're paying the bills this month, so it is what it is. Let's have a look at the mission briefing. I ain't gonna blow smoke, Commander. You're in the frying pan now. That blat blit blat words. Words, Chet. The Commonwealth is coming back to finish the job they started during the Fourth Succession War. Units are coming to plow right through us and spread through the Combine like a flesh-eating disease. The powers that be got no problem throwing the fifth into the meat grinder. They finally threw us a bone and gave us some teeth in the fight, but it ain't gonna bring back the men I've buried. You chose a life of war, collecting scars as part of the game, but I'm tired of carving names into headstones. You could fill a graveyard with the men that have bought it under my command. I mean, that happens, buddy. That happens. I keep hearing tales of men living in ivory towers about reforms that will protect the boots on the ground, but until I see them bolted into solid reality, I'm not gonna hold my breath. Damn glad I have you to inject some muscle into our ranks, Commander, but don't get stuck in the mud. The Combine's company store scheme has boxed in merc units like yours many times. Before you realize you've stepped on a landmine, you've already been blown into a million pieces. But we'll need to put that on the back burner. Right now, we've got a whole lot of fight coming our way. Prep up, you're gonna be run through a gauntlet. I'm good with it. I like gauntlets. I like shooting. I'm a shooter. I put 4 AC5s on a king crab. What does that tell you about me and what I like to do in my free time? We're not gonna make life easy for them. Shosho Nordica's supporting us with the 14th Legion units. They made their name killing Lyran guards during the 4th Succession War, so you're in good company. You'll also have artillery batteries set around the battle zone to help keep them off your back. Oh, we actually get to have our own artillery this time around? Hold off the invaders as long as you can, Commander. Don't give them an inch. Sorry, Chad, hiccups. Shosho Nordica, and I will call the game. Give them hell. As you do. Of course, we're going to take max salvage, and look at that, we already went from 5 points to 6 points. We are officially out of the lowest possible reputation bracket after a single mission. Apparently, Kurita is very easily swayed. And Gemmas, no, unfortunately, they are not ultras. We do have some ultras, but they're like tier 1, and so they jam very, very frequently. And now, with the additional 10 tons of weight capacity, we can take the same squad. So, Crab Squad, let's roll out. It's time for a crab battle. Although, to be fair, the paint job on that particular crab looks more like a lobster than a crab.
Hangar doors open. Stand clear.
Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
Alright, let's get stuck in, Chad.
Soldiers of Hellsteiner. They're here to avenge their failure to capture Vega during the 4th Succession War. Help the 5th deny Hellsteiner victory in Vega once again, Commander. We need to ensure Theodore Kurita's reforms have a chance to make a difference.
Let's just hope he's a man of his word. Enough of my men get served up as sacrificial lambs during battle.
I'll vouch for the word of Theodore Kurita.
Words are just noise to a soldier. I rely on what I can see with my 2 damn eyes.
I mean, to be fair, what we know
Fire!
that he doesn't know yet
Friendly artillery batteries active.
is,
Ground fire to beat them back.
Teddy Kurita is actually, as Draconis leaders go, he's a pretty good guy. More so than a lot of the people that preceded him. So, I mean, this is another one of the many pivotal points in Inner Sphere history.
Once again, my men are the goddamn vanguard standing at the mouth of hell.
My dude, it's okay. Just calm your tits. You're out here screaming and shouting like the battle's already lost. It's fine, just... Yeah?
Destroyed.
Target acquired.
Target received. Engaging.
And 3 Nugget gifting 10 tier 1 subs to the community. Holy shit, thank you so much, Nugget, for the insane generosity, the massive generosity, and the massive chicken. And if you got a gift sub from Nugget, please be sure to thank this insanely generous individual. And thank you so much, Nugget, for supporting me, supporting the channel, and supporting the community. Again, I do not deserve such support, but I will do my damnedest to earn it. Thank you so much.
Utilize the Roxas
Uh-oh. How is this commando still alive? There's nothing left of him. That's actually kind of impressive.
You heard the commander. Take the target.
Time for weekly gigantic alpha strike game. Alright, Valor Calls. Well, good to see you. And enjoy your lurk and enjoy the game as well. Hopefully you do well and the dice roll in your favor. Teddy K knew stuff. He did indeed. He knew some stuff. I don't know what the hell this blackjack's doing, but he's having a bad time now. Was payday yesterday, had to spread the joy of folks who helped make my week better. Well, again, glad to hear that you're enjoying the content nugget, and again, I appreciate it, but never feel like you have to do that, even if it's payday. All you gotta do to pay me back for the content is to be here and to have a good time.
Comms array destroyed. Excellent work, Commander. You stood your ground. I'm dispatching relief in place.
Oh.
The 14th Legion
Oh.
will take it from here. Advance to the marked extraction point. Stand by
They're
for
dropping
the
some more
next
mechs on
order.
us. What do we got? Oh, an archer. Haven't seen one of those in a whole minute. Have not seen an archer in a whole minute. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you.
Shifting to your target, Commander.
Tracking another Lyran force deployed in the AO. They will stop at nothing to seize Vega this time.
God damn it, this is a gauntlet from hell. Keep fighting. Add one to my score.
I mean, we're still fighting, but I'm trying to get to the extraction zone, guys. That is the next objective. Now wait for the minis to dry before I go to detailing. Well, there you go. Also, good to see that you're getting into painting some minis, Kodiak Doug. I always tell people, like, cause you know, it's like any form of art where people they want to go in and they want to paint like they see other people paint, or they want to draw like they see other people draw. And remember that it's an iterative process. Like, you got to start somewhere, and you know, like the saying goes, how do you get to Carnegie Hall? Practice. So, you know, I will say, as I said many times to myself as I learned how to paint minis, the same thing that Bob Ross says. Search for the loot. I mean, I'm walking through this building here, but I'm not seeing any loot. But I will give you the advice that Bob Ross does, which is, I hope that you are plagued with dissatisfaction. And I know that sounds like a butthole thing to say, but Bob Ross essentially said, you know, if you're ever satisfied with your art, if you're ever satisfied with your painting, then you should just stop painting. So, you know, always be looking to improve, always be looking to do better, to learn new techniques, to improve on whatever it is that you're trying to do. That's the best advice I can give you, is never be content with your work. Always be willing to do more. In my first ones, I'm hoping they're not too terrible. I mean, even if they are, as long as you learn from it. That's the thing that I always tell people, is like, it's okay to suck at stuff. Especially if you're doing it for the first time. But as long as you learn something in the process, then that is the important thing. As long as you improve, and you're not just, you know, telling yourself, this is fine, that's all that matters. They're prints of the PGI sculpts. Well, I cannot officially support, you know, piracy, but the PGI models, I know there are a lot of folks out there that do, that basically take the Piranha Games 3D models from games like Mechwarrior and then, you know, update them and modify them to create 3D models for like 3D printing. And I'd have to go look them up, but I once upon a time, it's been 6 months now or more, but once upon a time, I even showed chat a link to one of the folks that I got a lot of Battletech models from. But they're out there. They're out there. But there we go. That's another mission complete. We got 21 picks this time around. Let's see what we got. No lost tech this time. No lost tech. But let's see. We could potentially take a Warhammer that's been cored out. I really want to take the Archer, but I don't want to pay $4 million for it. Are there any other mechs that actually have their core? I mean, the Commando, one of these Commandos does, but it's just a Commando. So I guess we'll take the Warhammer for the money, and then we'll fill in with whatever other salvage we can throw together. It'll be alright. It'll be okay. Actually, you know what? Instead of this LRM-5, an LRM-5 that I'm never going to use, I'll take an Enforcer salvage part because, again, if we can potentially put a mech together, then that might be worth some money. And again, relatively light damage all around, except for Mate. Looks like Mate got an armor breach on one of the side torsos, but that's okay. These things happen. So note the 3D print models are way easier to put decals on than the current official models. Did you back the latest Kickstarter? No, Gemma. Generally speaking, I'm not... Now that I have a 3D printer, I generally don't worry so much about the Kickstarters and stuff. And that's not that I don't want to support them, it's just... for those of you that don't know, if you're relatively new to the channel, I am currently unemployed and in the middle of a job search. So, I don't have a whole lot of disposable income, but I have, on many occasions, backed Kickstarters and stuff like that for things that I enjoy. And I don't even care about the product, it's just like, hey, I like this project and I want it to succeed, so I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys some money. Because I don't really play tabletop anymore. It's not that I don't like the tabletop game, it's just that I've not found a lot of time to do it, and I just don't have as much enthusiasm. Like, I love watching other people play tabletop, and I love watching after-action reports and stuff like that, but I'm not as much of a player anymore. I still love the game, I don't have the time or the patience to play the tabletop game anymore, to be honest. Boss likes going in heavy and stompy. Yeah, and preferably close range. That's why I put 4 PPCXs in an Austin. And Urs rolling into the chat. I don't speak whatever that is, but I assume it's something derogatory about who we're currently fighting for. Just based on as much as I'm able to glean. But let's have a look at the next mission briefing. Listen up, Commander. A new sitrep just hit my desk and it's a whopper. Unlike the Combine, FedCom ain't shy about hiring some heavy-hitting merc units to do their dirty work. They've contracted Camachos Caballeros, the 17th Recon Regiment, and Colonel Merwin's 1st Grey Walkers. They're calling themselves Task Force Blizzard. I mean, it's not as edgy as I would expect from a bunch of mercenaries. Bastards hit the spaceport in Nasu, knifing through light armor security units like butter. If that ain't bad enough, word is Rhonda Snort and her irregulars are standing by in the area, just waiting for the green light. Well, we'll see. Don Carlos and his boys have made themselves right at home. They've set up shop inside the heart of the city. We're gonna give the Caballeros and the Grave Robbers a one-way ticket to the scrapyard, but we got work to do. Advanced recon scan probed the area showing Don Carlos' gear is stashed inside the city. Haul ass into the target area, scoop up the Caballeros' encrypted files. We get our hands on those, we can crack them open and gain the upper hand. Don Carlos won't just hand over the goods, Commander, so get in and out without getting your wings clipped. Is this gonna be an infiltration mission? Is this gonna be an infiltration mission? I hope not. I don't like infiltration missions. And the thing that I hate is because it's a campaign mission, it just says campaign. It doesn't tell you what kind of campaign mission, it just says campaign. Infiltrate the city of Nassau and recover the 17th Recon Regiment's encrypted files before Don Carlos and the other mercenary units stationed in the city can stop you. It says hit and run. Yeah, I mean, it feels like an infiltration mission just based on the description. I think we treat it like Steiner Scout Squad. We'll take mech salvage, as you do. And we're gonna go in. Oh, mission starts in 1 day because I'm an idiot and did not repair the mechs. Well, shit. That is unfortunate. Let's go ahead and sell this Warhammer while we're at it. We're gonna have to do some swapping out here. Gonna have to do some swapping out. So sadly, we will not be taking Crab Squad out for this particular engagement. I mean, we might be able to get away with the Battlemaster Squad, but I think they're gonna be a little too heavy. Let's see. No. Not if you have mechs that can hide like the Raven. Yeah, I mean, I know there are things that we can do to make infiltration missions not suck quite so much, but I just don't like sneaking and creeping, that's all. Like, I know Stealth Archer build is the preferred way to play Skyrim. I don't play the game that way, even though it's the meta way to play it. It's just not how I roll, you know? Let's see, we'll put that in. Yeah, we're gonna be overweight on this, so we might need to pull out some of the lighter mechs. Alright, let's see what we got in cold storage. Let's see what we got in cold storage. I mean, we got the catapult, the laser kitty. We could take that out. Haven't pulled that out of storage in a while. And let's see what else we have. We do have the Raven, this one, which... I mean, if it's an infiltration mission, maybe the Raven isn't a terrible pick. And we haven't repaired our Marauders yet. Maybe we bring a couple of Orions for heavy backup. Let's see what we can do with that. So, I'm gonna take out the laser kitty. We will put the Raven in just in case it is an infiltration mission. And then we'll dump in a couple of these Orions. And that way we've got some heavy firepower if we need it. Now, that being said, most of our pilots are resting, so we'll need to swap them out as well. I play Battletech, I want to be swinging D in the big mech. Stealth is for foot soldiers. Agreed. Agreed. The bone paint is sweet. Well, thank you for our bones. It is thematic. It is thematic. Speaking of, I think we already took this Orion out on a mission once before. I'm gonna go ahead and put the company colors on it. I'm pretty sure it's already earned it. I apologize in advance if that is not the case. I'm sure somebody out there in YouTube lands is gonna be like, oh my god, you put the colors on that mech without it getting blooded. It's fine. It's fine. It's an Orion. I'm sure it will survive this engagement. Oh yeah, this paint job would be a nightmare to paint on a Mini. But I like a challenge. I mean, I have often been accused of being way too detailed with my paint jobs on my Warhammer minis. Alright, let's see. Who, if anybody, is gonna be able to use the laser kitty? I mean, nobody's really got an affinity for it. But, Jonah has good energy skill. Oh, I think Ansie's probably gonna be the one. Ansie's got 16 energy.
ROE is at our discretion, Commander.
So I think Ansie's gonna be the one to drive the laser kitty. As for the Raven, again, most of our people have got experience in medium and light mechs, so I don't think it really matters who we put in the mech. I guess we want to take somebody with high evasion skill, though. So Jonah has got high evasion and decent defense stat. Yeah, let's go with Jonah.
Quiet on the galactic front.
And then let's put in General Quarters in an Orion. And who else? Who else? So put in Serini. Oh shit. I just realized these two pilots are still resting. That's unfortunate. Well, you know what? You're not resting today. You are not resting today. It's a hot infiltration. It just says it for fluff purposes. Just be prepared to lose that Raven. See, that's what I'm worried about. This is the thing. Would a Mech Commander stream playthrough? I mean, I would definitely consider it. I have considered doing a Mech Commander or Mech Commander 2 stream. Just for funsies. It's not off the table, for sure. As I always say, never's a long time, so I'm not gonna say never. Let's just hope that Jonah is gonna survive the engagement. Let's look at the Raven. I want to make sure that we've got the right AI package. So, light recon units mainly used to fight vehicles, turrets, and light mechs. Target preference fast and light units. If a fast mech is targeted, they'll engage in a circle, fighting, trying to gain advantage. If a slow mech is targeted, they'll engage in hit and run tactics. Is there any, like, stay the fuck away from everything AI? What is skirmisher? Probably about the same, right? Nah, we'll stick with scout. I think that's probably the best fit for the Raven. Please don't get blown up, Raven. Sniper's the closest. Yeah, I guess we could do that. We could just put him on sniper, but even so, like with Crab Squad, we've been using the sniper AI, and they still go charging in, which is what I'm worried about. So their target preference is slow and heavy units. Yeah, I'm gonna keep him on scout. I don't want him focusing on slow and heavy units. But let's go ahead and deploy for the mission. Hopefully this is not a terrible decision, but if it is, we are the cult of bad tactical decisions, so it makes perfect sense. They go charging in because you go charging in. This is fair, but even when I tell them to engage a specific target, the snipers just immediately charge them into close range instead of, you know, trying to keep their distance.
Bubba here. Yeah, I got something on sensors. Commander, clock is ticking on this one. You need to recover the encrypted files belonging to the Caballeros located inside the city.
Missile.
Sensors are going haywire. Tracking mercenary.
I forgot my weapon groups for this one. What are we doing? Okay. Got it.
Forces up ahead.
I respect both moves, but this is
Don't let them scare you. Smash through them.
Target destroyed.
We're on your target, Commander.
Out of the way, doofus.
Enemy mech destroyed. Shared target identified.
Well, the AMS is definitely putting in work already, which is good. We don't normally get the opportunity to take AMS out.
Target updated.
Alright. So far, so good. Look at all these tanks, and they're just sitting here as stationary objects. AMS going burr. It is indeed. It is indeed. Yeah, the 4 large lasers is actually really good. If we could change them out for 4 large pulse lasers, it'd be even better, but I don't think this thing's got the weight for that.
Another perimeter scan.
Hey, look at that!
The data servers containing the 17th encrypted files are located on the marked points.
Get on it, Commander. You should be more careful about who you try and steal from. You brought this on yourselves.
You say that, but all your dudes are already dead.
Your teeth are kicked down your throat.
Like, I don't know if you missed the part where we curb stomped all of your guys. Alright, there we go. There's the reinforcements. Where are they coming from?
Target confirmed.
New target.
Alright, Phoenix Hawk. Let's deal with this Phoenix Hawk. Aw. He went behind a building, the butthole. Come here, you. I want to shoot you with my lasers. There you go. Alright, homeboy is down. We got a fire starter. Oh, and we got a grasshopper. Well, let's focus on the fire starter, because the grasshopper is less of a threat than the flamethrower is. That's an oof. That is an official oof. There we go, no more fire starter. Now we can focus on the grasshopper. Well, I'm trying not to core that grasshopper. I was gonna try and leg him, but apparently the rest of the Lance had other plans. Let's avoid the explosive pipes if we can.
Second data server is marked. Keep moving, Commander.
Okay, Rihanna. I mean, you're the dumbass that left all of your important data just sitting around in an abandoned city with only like 6 dudes protecting it. If there's anybody that needs to take some blame here, it's gonna be you.
You're almost there, Commander. I've marked the final data server location. It's hidden behind those buildings ahead.
Finish strong, Commander.
All encrypted files.
Screw your statue.
Tidy work, Commander. Now fall back to the marked extraction zone. And
Let's see, another Warhammer and an Enforcer. I think we can handle that.
Look alive. There's
Oh,
something
and we
more
got
away.
another Orion as well. Well, let's focus on the Orion then, because I think we might have line of sight to him. Barely.
An enemy mech.
Well, didn't quite get the headshot I was going for. We're both bobbing and weaving. It's not good for accuracy.
One piece.
Danzant life support system, a window AC at the top of the mech. Yeah, pretty much.
Enemy mech eliminated.
And let's see, I'm gonna stop moving. It's probably not a smart idea in the grand scheme of things. But me bobbing up and down and them bobbing up and down makes it really hard to hit people in the head. That's the one advantage that assault mechs have, is you move so slow, it doesn't disrupt your aim nearly as much. Yeah, I mean, Mechwarriors can always get a little more naked if they want to, right? They can always just take some clothes off if that's what you have to do when it gets hot in the cockpit. And Dark Sarah rolling into the chat on a Saturday saying, hello, hiya boss. Well, good to see you, Dark Sarah. Thanks for joining us on a Saturday, and hopefully the weekend is treating you well so far. If not, then hopefully it'll be a little better now that you're here. You are catching us relatively early in the middle of some hot mech on mech action as we have started the Dragon's Gambit DLC. Search for the loot, you've got the time. Like, you guys keep saying search for the loot, like, where is the loot? Because normally that stuff pops up all over the place, but are there specific places that I need to be looking for loot, or what? Or is it just randomly placed? Because I don't want to spend a bunch of time just walking around. Better now, last week I was instructing in a high school cyber summer camp. I didn't even know that was a thing. I don't know what a cyber summer camp is, but it sounds like a pain in the ass if you have to deal with kids. So I feel for it. I feel for you. And Captain Cannon Fodder First Time Chatter says, yay, managed to catch your stream. Well, welcome, Captain Cannon Fodder. Good to see you. Glad to have you. Hopefully the weekend is treating you well also. And I imagine you are rolling in from the YouTube archive land, so we're always glad to have folks coming over from there to check us out live. Again, hopefully the weekend sees you well. We're in Saturday, so really it's just a foreplay of the weekend, but hopefully it'll be a good one for you. Switch to the Raven if you're gonna look for loot. You know what? That's not a terrible idea. The Raven is significantly faster for that purpose. And Erst gifted us something, Captain Cannon Fodder. Erst, thank you for the massive generosity and the massive chicken. And Captain Cannon Fodder, welcome to the cult of bad tactical decisions, where I'm sure you already know, but we have only one flavor of Kool-Aid, and it is Ecto Cooler. So enjoy your Ecto Cooler mix, and welcome to the cult yet again. We are always glad to have more converts. And Dark Sarah, not to be outdone, gifting 5 subs to the community as well. Thank you so much, Dark Sarah, as you guys are both getting into the stream relatively early and gifting those subs. Again, you do not have to support the stream that way, but I appreciate it. And as always, I may not deserve it, but I will do my best to earn it. Thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for supporting me, supporting the channel, and of course, supporting the community as well. How much do we have to donate for the bunny suit? I can promise you that no amount of donation will guarantee to get the bunny suit. The bunny suit will depend entirely on when I have the time to actually do that. And Vin says, oops, my finger slipped. Yeah, bullshit, Vin. But thank you once again for yet another gift sub. This time for Snigglefritz. So, first of all, if I see you out there in the chat, Snigglefritz, welcome back to the chat. Welcome back to the stream. Good to see you again. And Vin, thank you so much for the gifted sub as well. Again, you guys are too generous, and you've already started a hype train. Look at that. Look at that. Well, yes, no. I would love for you to get the bunny suit someday, but I promise nothing. I promise nothing. There are many outfits that I would like to do and that I have in progress, but finding the time to do that in between everything else I have going on has been a little bit tough. So hopefully we'll get there someday. It's just a matter of time. A matter of free time, that is. And Nugget gifted another 5 subs this time. Thank you, Nugget, for yet more gift subs to the community. And again, if you got a gift sub from Nugget or anybody else out here with the insane generosity, be sure to thank them. Because once again, without you guys and without all of these massive generosity, donations, there is no channel, there is no community. I mean, again, it's all you, and I appreciate the support. Thank you guys so much. And are y'all gonna have a sub fight? Is that what's happening? Like, am I didn't realize it, but you know, right now we're about to be in the middle of a sub fight because Troubleshoot here gifting 5 subs as well, and Ro with 100 Bezos bucks on top of that. Good lord, y'all are going ham with the support, and we're already up to a level 5 hype train. Guys, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Yeah? But again, thank you guys so much for the gift subs, for the Bezos bucks, for the support. Thank you guys just for being here, for hanging out, and for having a good time. I'm glad that you're having the kind of time that you feel like is worth supporting. And with that being said, I am running around all over the place here looking for the loot that everybody tells me is here, but I'm not finding anything. So I think I'm probably gonna call it. We're gonna get out of here because I don't want to spend a bunch of time just looking around for loot. We'll get plenty of loot blowing up mechs. Yeah? Get down, the sub cannon is firing. It is indeed. It is indeed. Y'all going off with the gift subs. And Nugget once again with 500 Bezos bucks on top of the gift subs. Thank you once again, Nugget. And thank you, Erst. Thank you, Frogbones, for the gift sub as well. For Kirk Zacko? I guess I apologize if I'm not pronouncing that correctly, but welcome to the Cult of Bad Tactical Decisions, Kirk. And again, thank you guys, everybody, for the insane generosity, for the gift subs, for the Bezos bucks. You're almost at the loot. Well, tell me where it is. Tell me where the loot is. If you can tell me where it is, then I'll go straight to it, but I'm not gonna spend a bunch of time just walking around looking for it. West of your current position. So what, it's in the mountains? All I remember is that it's outside the city. Well, I'll give it a shot. 95% of gamblers give it up right before they win big, you know? I wish I could believe that, but we have discussed many times before that RNGesus and I, Lady Luck and I, we do not get along. We are not in good standing. Okay, there's definitely nothing here, or if there is, it's not showing up. And Ro gifting 500 Bezos bucks as well. Again, you guys going outstanding ham with the support. Thank you, Ro, for the 500 Bezos bucks. Again, you guys don't have to do that, and you should stop. God damn it. But thank you so much for the support. Thank you for the Bezos bucks. Thank you for the gift subs. It's gonna be in a building if it exists. Yeah, it should be. It should be. Hope to catch you later. Have to step out for errands. Would give some Bezos bucks, but doesn't want any money, apparently. It's not that I don't want money. It's that you guys, like... You don't have to do that. That's not what this is about. I've said before. For me, this is a hobby. It is insane to me that you guys even gift subs or donate bits or anything like that. Like, that's... Yeah, we're at the world edge. But then, like, that's not what I'm here for. I'm just here to have a good time, and I hope that you guys have a good time as well. And Zanosi with 5 gifted subs as well to add to the pile of gift subs that you guys have given out, and to add to their own pile of gift subs. I believe you've already given, what, 5 subs this stream, in addition to the 5 that you just gave out. So thank you, Thanosi, for the 5 gifted subs as well. And again, if you're one of the folks that got a gift sub from these generous individuals, please make sure to thank them for that generosity. No stopping the train. Well, you're already up to level 6. Now, for those of you that don't know or you haven't been around for a while, the current personal best for the chat is level 10. You guys actually made it to a level 10 hype train not too terribly long ago. Alright, chat, we're getting out of here. I've wasted like 5 or 10 minutes just walking around looking for loot. I don't give a shit what it is. There is no loot in this game worth wasting that much time looking for. So let's get out of here.
Commander, stand by.
You provide me with stompy mech action, a friendly voice, and a cool community for me to enjoy on a Saturday night. Well, I'm glad that you think that, troubleshooter. Again, that is the intent. I want a place where you guys can hang out and enjoy some nerd shit and have a good time. And you know, I've said before, the world is kind of a shitty place right now, so any place where we can go and hang out and just forget about all the troubles, that's what I want to provide you. A place where we can all just have a good time and forget about all the other bullshit going on in the world. First VTuber I've seen play this game. Well, I promise, Captain Canning Fodder, there are some others out there. Not many, but they do exist. And of course, I'm not the only content creator playing Battletech games, so be sure to check some of the other folks out as well. I'm an amateur when it comes to this stuff. There are folks that are much, much better at this than I am. Let's see. I mean, it's tier 0, but an ER large short burst would be kind of good. So let's see. We can take the assassin. We can take the spider. And then I guess we take the ER large. And yeah, that'll fill out our salvage picks. It's good enough for me. And we are seeing some small percentages of degradation on our pilot's skills just because, unfortunately, they didn't have enough time to rest up before we went on the next mission. But that's okay. Let me go ahead and get the repairs started on these mechs so I don't forget about that again. And then we'll sell the spider because there is no world in which I willingly use a spider. And we'll sell the assassin as well. Is that Palpatine? No, that's General Quarters. Somehow General Quarters retired. Well, technically, you know, the hot lore says that his real name is Soul Shitter Fuck Murder. But we know him as General Quarters.